Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to another episode of God Concept. I'm your host, Mr. Pagan. It's episode 43. How the fuck are you doing today? How are you doing? I'm still sticking in there, maintaining. From the previous episode, Scanapico scandal we was on, because I found out there were people in my family's life that were planning to steal their property or conspiring to do something. I don't know what the fuck they were doing, but I know that it's a lot of connections there that I've found, and there's a lot of things I'm piecing together. I tried to get with them because I know them, I speak to them, and, things like that. Prior to all this, coming, me discovering all this stuff, we actually spoke, and it was on good terms or whatever. And then the petty shit started happening, the scheming shit and all that. The scheming shit been there before I even knew it. But before I know it, I'm wrapped up all in this shit, and I don't mind being wrapped up in it, because to be honest with you, if you're trying to scheme me or my family or doing this, doing that, I'm not going for that shit. I'm not going for it. You know what I mean? I might not be the toughest fucking guy out here. I might not be, the smartest guy to fuck out here. I might not have all the connections in the fucking world. But I'm going to stand up and stand on what I stand on and stand for what I stand for, because shit ain't right. I've been doing my investigation, my private investigation. And what I've come up with is that these people are tied to possibly Masonic Eastern Stars organizations, tied to possibly FBI, CIA, local law enforcement, Philadelphia police, street levels. I know they have some dealings on street level terms. I'm not going to talk about that, but yeah, they have dealings on street level terms too, and it's worrying. I'm concerned about it because I got to take the stand for my family. I didn't choose to take the stand, but I was forced. My hand was forced to, because, them plotting on my grandparents and me being a guy that, had a career and this and that. I'm an entrepreneur now. I still have a career. I'm just working for myself. But, with them being tied to the city. Oh, yeah, did I mention they tied to SEPTA as well? That was my employer. They tied to SEPTA. So the Scanapicos are tied to SEPTA and all these organizations. They got big-ass development company downtown, Scanapico Real Estate Development. So this is what I'm dealing with. And I got to live in Philadelphia. I got to live in the very house that they're trying to steal. I got to be here. It's not like I'm worried about them, even though I am kind of, worried about them trying to do something to the house, my grandparents, me, my family, my children, things like that. But at the same time, if I just sit back and I let them continue to conspire against my family, if I let them continue this, then I'd be doing my family a disservice. And it's sad because I looked at the Scanapicos as my family as well. I looked at Georgia and Stephanie Scanapico as my family, Shit, Stephanie used to home health care for my uncle, Freddie, before he passed away. Been a friend of the family for a long fucking time. I never knew it. But, yeah, that's what it was. So I think she was plotting this for a while. I think they were plotting this for a while. And I mean, that's on the physical realm of things. On the spiritual realm of things, to tell you the truth, the reason why I was just going to talk to him and try to just come to a mutual understanding and just let him know, hey, look, if you guys was planning on this, don't do it, because I'm not fucking going for it. You know what I mean? Or just say, hey, you know what? We're in front of their family. We shouldn't be trying to take that property or trying to scheme on anybody. Because what they did was they cost me my livelihood and everything, stole my car. Also, they have all my banking information and everything some fucking how. They was acting like they was different people on social media, and they knew I was signing contracts and everything, that I was trying to be an entrepreneur, that I'm in the process of being an entrepreneur and getting into music and getting into, literature and writing books and becoming a publisher and an author and a, musician and everything. So what they did was they infiltrated our lives, and they seen that the only way they would really be able to get this fucking house if they ruined my life. You know, that's the only way they'd be able to get this house, if they ruined my fucking life. Because how you gonna take the house from somebody, who has a career and things like that? I mean, it's not my house, but I'm pretty sure they know that it was probably gonna be left to me. And when you look the house up, my name is on the fucking house. So, apparently this is what they was trying. This is what they were doing. This was the scheme, presumably. And it's sad because I always treated them good. You know what I mean? I always treated them good. Anytime my loyalty is unmatched, my loyalty is just unwavering. And I show constant loyalty, constant trust, constant, I'm there for you. And that's the way I am with everybody, who's in my life. If you're in my life or whatever, I'm going to be there for you and things like that. I put this all together because, I started noticing that people in my life, that's another thing. They're connected to everybody. And if they are connected to the Eastern Stars and Masonic Order, they can subconsciously mess with you, if you know what I mean. They can subconsciously mess you. They got substances that they could sprinkle in your drink. They could pour in your food. They can, say if you smoke, if you're a weed smoker or something, you can sprinkle something in your weed. If you like to snort or whatever the fuck you do, if you like to do drugs or party or even drink or anything, this is what they do. And once they get whatever substance they have in your system, you're doing whatever the fuck they want you to do. Okay? It's called chemistry or magic or necromancing, or is ways that they could do this. Because in knowing them and being around them, they're very big on, myths, folklores, and demonology, and they have books on, what's the book? It's called Exploitation. It's an exploitation book, and books about meditating, and a lot of books that George Orwell wrote. And if you know George Orwell, he's a Freemason. And I know for a fact that they did a lot of things. They did a lot of things to me in my personal life. They did a lot of things to me in my family life. And really, I don't understand why. I mean, I understand why. But at the same time, it's like, if y'all just wanted a property, or if you just, you could have just left me the fuck alone and left me to my own devices, and I would have figured things out probably. You know what I mean? You didn't even have to pull me into the whole thing. But you did. So now I'm going all out, kid. I still got mad love to give. You my bitch. I fuck with y'all. But at the same time, I gotta put y'all out there. Not to mention, they had people that I know in my life, like Like people that I consider like close, close, you know, plotting on me as well. And I didn't even know it, you know? I don't know when, how, or why this all started, but I'm gonna try to finish it. I'm gonna do my best to finish it. Cause my grandmother's 91. You know what I mean? She's 90 fucking 1. I stepped in front of a gun for my grandmother before. You know, the cops came in the house for a warrant for one of my uncles. They came up the steps waving their fucking guns, put their gun right in my grandmother's face, and I jumped right in front of it. You gonna put a gun in somebody's fucking face, put it in my fucking face. That's what I told the cops. That's how much I love my grandmother. That's how much I love my grandparents, you know? It was a house fire. I stopped the house fire in the kitchen, you know, not too long ago, probably a couple months back. I stopped the house fire in this fucking kitchen. You know what I mean? And it's ironic because my grandfather, just a block over on Shawswood Street, saved me from a house fire when I was a little boy. And now as a grown man, I saved my grandparents from a house fire. Not only that, you know, I'm putting everything on the line for mine. I'm sorry. My grandmother's 91. My grandfather's, I forget his age. But to be honest with you, I said that to say this. I would give my life and everything I have for anybody I love. And I put that, you know, that's just what I stand on. You can say whatever you want to say about me. You can say this guy is this. You can say this guy is this. You can say whatever you want to say. But I'm standing on what I stand on. And another ironic thing I find about the whole situation, I've been calling and sending messages and emails to the Masonic orders, to the FBI, the investigation department, all of these places, and nobody won't help me. Nobody won't help me. And I know why they won't help me. Because they're all tied in, connected. Okay? Anytime I call and try to mention anything about anything, they just hang up on me. Or they don't answer the phone. Or if they don't hang up, they act like they can't help me, or they'll act like they don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. And this is when I called the FBI. They act like they didn't understand what I was talking about. I called the Masonic Order and told them about the necromancing thing because, you know, that's the more spiritual aspect of what's going on. You got to understand, it's not just physical realm we're walking in here. It's physical and spiritual. And they understand that. We don't understand that. They understand that. That's why they get so far ahead in life. This is why they have billion-dollar companies downtown. This is why they in bed with Sony Records. This is why they have Scanapico Real Estate Development. This is why they have companies and things like this. This is how they flourish. Because it's above the physical realm of what was tangible to us. They move in that spiritual realm. That's what makes these type of people so powerful. Because they manipulate, they use, I want to say, spells or, you know, chemistry, substances, however the fuck you want to call it. They use these things in our communities. You know, they use these things in our communities. I believe it's a trail of tears going on right now. If you're indigenous, you know what I'm talking about. They're trying to move people out of this area. I think they want this house for the redevelopment thing, because this house is worth quite a pretty little penny. But not enough to ruin somebody's fucking life. I'm sorry, if If the shoes were on the other foot, I wouldn't be able to see myself doing this to somebody's family and livelihood and everything for their property. She even tried to destroy my life and then try to have me go back to my old life, right? Knowing that me going back to my old life would still hurt me. You know what I mean? Me going back to working at SEPTA and everything would have took my mind off of doing this, off of everything that's going on. And she knew that. So she tried to get me to get my job back, right? After she ruined my license, after she ruined my took my vehicle, after she stole my property, after she been conspiring with her mother and family for years to do all this shit. She tries to get me to get my job back because she knew if I would have got it back, it would have looked like I lost it on my own recognizance. If I would have actually went back to SEPTA, it would have looked like it was my fault that I lost my job. And it was to some extent, but I was under the influence without even knowing it. I was under the influence of powers that I didn't even know, that I had no idea. It was the influence of the substances that the Scanapicos possess. It was because, to be honest with you, the love that I developed for them, you know, I'm not always 100% right in whatever they do. I'm a passionate person. I'm Irish, Native American, and Cuban. I'm a very passionate fucking person. So, forgive me for being passionate. But ultimately, that's what happened. You know, and ultimately, I can't get past that. You know, to be honest with you, I can't. I'm not going to say I can't. I hate that fucking word can't. To be honest with you, it's put like a, you know how like you got something on your mind too much and you can't really focus on doing the other things that you have to do? I'm writing books, trying to produce music, trying to do all these different things. And what they put me through, what they put my family through, is causing me to have time away from my kids. You know, it's causing me to not be able to be in that creative space that I need to be in to create and develop things, to develop art, to support myself and my family. I've been doing a hell of a job to be able to release books and produce some fucking music throughout this whole ordeal. I wasn't even talking about this for a while. For a while, all I was doing is trying to contact them. And I'm trying to contact them. She's saying I fucked her over when I'm telling her, no, bitch, you fucked me over. Your family's fucking us over. And I found out about it. But she tried to act like I'm wrong about the situation. Because I helped her mom out one time. Before I knew the daughter, I knew the mother, right? Before I knew the daughter, I knew the mother. And I knew she was taking care of my uncle and everything. She was caretaking for my uncle. My uncle passed away. Sad situation, right? COVID times, right? They say that, right? But I know it was something else. They put him on that respirator shit and his lungs couldn't keep up, whatever the case may be. Maybe it was them that did this. Maybe he was taking meth and he couldn't breathe because after a while you're doing meth, it does something to your respiratory system. It weakens your respiratory system. It shortens your breath and things like that. So, after my Uncle Freddie died, next thing you know, Stephanie Scanapico calls me one day, oh, I don't got nowhere to stay, nephew, and, you know, please, can you help, this and that? No problem, you know, let me see what I could do. I thought about it, what the fuck could I do? All right, no problem. We're going to go get a hotel room. I went and picked her up. We was riding around figuring out what we were going to do. I took her to get, you know, her stuff from the store that she likes. I already had liquor in the trunk and everything. We went. I said, you know, we're just going to get a room. Got a room. Listened to music. chilled, relaxed. Two adults had sexual intercourse. One fucking time. One fucking time. Then a year later, I meets the younger Scanapico lady, Georgia. Now, I'm smitten by this lady. I don't know why. I think I see an aura around this lady. I don't know what the fuck it is. So, I'm like, all right. So her mom like, listen, Georgia really likes you. Because I'm like, all right. I'm like, but, should I say any, like, is this okay? I'm talking to the mother. Is this okay? Because me and you had just don't say nothing about it. Don't, she really likes you. Don't say nothing about it. Da 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 da. My dumb ass like, cool, no problem. The whole time it was a fucking ruse to set me up and to have Georgia think that, look at me like and treat me like, I violated her by sleeping with her mother and, trying to be intimate with her after that happened. But I never knew her. If I had known that she had a daughter, right, I would not have did that. I would not have slept with her. I'd have been like, yo, what's up with your daughter? She never even showed me pictures of her daughter or nothing like that. Right? And I was just trying to be nice. It wasn't like I was trying to, have a relationship with her mom or whatever. I mean, we did have a relationship. We're cool. She need help. I help, She's all here in my family. Shit, she knows my grandmother. She gets mail at this fucking house. Never knew the fucking daughter. Come to find out, whoop-de-doo. There you go. I didn't tell the daughter because, it's embarrassing. Plus, I didn't tell the daughter because her mom told me not to fucking tell her. Just don't say nothing. Don't worry about it or whatever. And it was only one time. So I, figured okay. This would just be our fucking secret. My thing was, if we'd actually been together, if me and G would have actually stayed together or whatever, her mother would have had something to hold over my head all this time. Right? So, once, I guess, I'm not saying so once G found, for real, I suspect that she knew that I slept with her mother this whole fucking time. Now that I'm thinking about it, that was the play. I sleep with him, then he sleep with you, and then you find out, and now you treat this guy or act like, you know what I mean? And for a while, they had me. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck did I do? And I'm still like, oh, shit, what the fuck did I do? Like, it's fucked up. But now that I know that it was a plan the whole time, now that I know that this was their scheme the whole fucking time to steal this property, to make it look like I'm a bad person, to do me this way, to do my family this way. I don't feel bad about it no more. It's like, yeah, it happened. But they made it happen. This didn't happen because I made it happen. This happened because they made it happen. The fucked up part about it is, I don't know. I really think I fell in love with that girl. I fell in love with Georgia. I fell in love with her. I don't know what it was. It was just a mutual thing or whatever. And I mean, she just fucked me over. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I got fucked over in the whole deal. But it's okay because now I'm fucking her over in a way. Because I'm putting it out there. Friending her friends and her mother's friends and everybody, and I'm sending them messages so they could be aware of what they're into. Because I don't think nobody really know who these people are, to be honest with you. The only people I think really know who they are the organizations that they're attached to be honest with you. The organizations that they're attached to know who they really are, know what they really do. Now I know what they really do. And I'm telling you. And I'm telling you this because, to be honest with you, I know they doing this to more fucking people. You know, they got a fucking real estate development building downtown. It if it adds up, it makes sense. You know, if it make dollars, it makes sense. That's what they doing. You know, this is what they doing. And they not just doing this shit to me. I just happen to be smart enough to find out this shit. I just happen to be smart enough to figure all this shit out. You know, I'm pretty sure, you know, they've been stealing property all over Philadelphia, all over the United States for a long fucking time. You know, I'm pretty sure they've been doing this shit everywhere. And it's sad. It's sad because, you know, nobody deserves that shit. Nobody deserves to be toyed with, you know, and their livelihood and their family's livelihood and their family's property to be played with, to be preyed upon. It's not right. It's not fucking right. You know, I always been a upstanding person. You know, I don't break laws. I bend them at times. I could admit that. You know what I mean? I don't break them. I bend them. You know what I mean? And me bending the rule, I could get in a lot of fucking trouble, right? Just bending a rule, just a little slight bend. But they break rules and they just slide past with impunity. I've reached out for help to everybody, man. I'm even reaching out to people on social media. Nobody in my family even commented on this shit. Nobody in my family act like they see this shit. Cousins, uncles, aunts. You know? Like, what the fuck? And nobody sees this? I'm just telling y'all what I'm going through, man. What I'm witnessing, what I'm experiencing, and what I'm going through. You know, it's a sad thing, man. Nobody gives a fuck. It's like nobody really gives a fuck. I give a fuck. You know? And I don't know if it's that they don't give a fuck, or is that they're being made not to give a fuck, or they're being made not to see this, or they're being, you know, because like I said, if they're really involved with the Masonic Order and the Eastern Stars and the FBI and the CIA and the streets and the local law enforcement, SEPTA and all these other places, right? And they can really necromance you and have substances to cloud your mind or impair your vision and things of that nature, right? Influence your subconscious in a way. Who's to say they could just, you know, they could just be like, you know, put a spell over the, you know, populace to say, hey, this guy's fucking crazy. Or this guy's, you know, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. You know what I mean? That's what I'm dealing with. Well, we'll be back after word from these sponsors. Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate y'all. You know what I mean? Just for listening, just for allowing me to clear my mind and get things off my chest. Thank you, Spotify, for allowing me to clear my mind and get things off my chest. Because this is my outlet. This is one of my ways of outletting what I'm feeling and what I'm going through and telling you this story. And it's way deeper than that. You know, it's way more intricate and deeper than that. It's a lot that went on within the time that I met this lady to now. You know, and now that I, like in hindsight, when you look back at everything, you start to see the connections. You start to see, you know, what's actually going on. Like, you know, you don't know where a train is going until you really look at the track. You don't know where a train is going until you know which direction the track is headed. So I had to step back and really, stop focusing on the train so much and start focusing on the track. The train was moving and I had to start focusing on the track. I looked at the track and I seen where it was headed. So I had to divert course, because to be honest with you, it's a crash course either way. If I stayed on that track, it's a crash course, right? It's a full-blown setup. They're even trying to get who I thought was my sister, her baby father, to probably do something, because that's another thing I put together. My quote unquote fake sister, baby father lives in the same area as Shane Gordon or Dunbar, whatever his name is. The houses are literally blocks from each other. So that's how I figured out that that's one way that I figured out that they were in cahoots with actual people that I knew away from them, because they're tied to every fucking body. They're tied to my friends. Well, I had friends. I don't have friends anymore. But people that I consider close friends, they tied to them. Family that I have, like family, blood relatives, they tied to them. So who the fuck can you trust, really? That's where I'm at with it. Who the fuck can you trust, really? If you find out that they're tied to everything that you're around, everything, who the fuck can you trust? All right, man.